So when looking for liquidity provision opportunities on the Uniswap network, there's a few different ways we can go about this, but there's really only one way that is the overall best option. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do with your money. So first of all, if you're on Uniswap, you can go over to the pools section, look for top pools, and scroll through these. You'll see a ton of pools, and by default, it will be sorted by TVL, but you can't actually do much due diligence into these pools and see much information about them. So let's take this wrapped Bitcoin to Ethereum pool. Yeah, you can see the fees per day, TVL, 24-hour volume. Other than that, you can't really see much else about the pool. So if you're a potential investor, you can't really find much more. And then the other option is to go to DeFi Llama, go to the yield section, go to pools over here, and then go to project. You can clear all and then only look for Uniswap v3 pools. And then here we can pretty much see the same data, maybe a bit more. We can see the APY, the TVL, and we can also see the 30 days average APY, etc. But again, using these methods, we can't do advanced due diligence to really help us narrow down the best opportunities. Matter of fact, we can't even simulate our positions to see what type of returns we could be getting when we're investing our capital. So I'm going to head on over to Metrics Finance. I'll leave a link for it down below in the description, but it's the best software for finding these liquidity provision opportunities and then simulating what type of returns you could be getting and then building out your portfolio. So I'm going to launch the app, then go over to the Discover section. And then for this video, we're doing it all about Uniswap. So for the exchange, we can select Uniswap. And then for the networks, we can go ahead and hit select all. And of course, if you only want to look at certain networks, you can go ahead and do that. And now it shows over 1,000 pools, and you can go ahead and filter these down depending on what filters fit your investment style. So first of all, for TVL, I like to go ahead and type in 2.5 million bucks in TVL as a minimum. And then for fees APR, we're not trying to look for pools that have like less than 5% APR, right? So I'll type in higher than 12% APR as a start. You can obviously raise this much more. Now, of course, you will see some meme coin pools like Pengu to Wrapped ETH. We here at Builder Wealth don't recommend taking on exposure to these, but if that fits your investment style, go ahead. So now we can see a ton of pools right off the bat. So we can start with this Wrapped ETH to Wrapped Bitcoin position right here over on Uniswap. We can simulate it in a new tab and it will bring up this page, and this is where things start to get exciting. So first of all, we can enter our deposit amount of how much money we actually have to invest. I'll say 10,000 bucks for this example. Then we can move our current price to where there's more liquidity. So this is just a strategy to try to get the most accurate simulation. So if I have it right here, then we go ahead and adjust our range. We can bring our min price up here and our max price down. We're looking at about 12% APR. We can also zoom out on the calculation range to see how this pool has played out over time. And scrolling down, you can see how correlated these assets are. See, these assets are very correlated with 93% correlation. This is not a super high APR position, so I'm ahead and close it out and look for some other ones. I see this pool right here, Wrapped ETH to Uni on Uniswap and Ethereum with a 0.3% fee tier. Let's go ahead and open that up in a new tab, simulate it, and see more about the position. So I'll set my deposit amount, and now we can move our current price over to where there's more liquidity. And look, we're getting much higher APRs, like 35%. That's even before we adjust the calculation range. So I can move the range like this. Let's see, with a bit tighter range, we're looking at about almost 50% yearly APR. So again, this software is super helpful for narrowing down these liquidity pools to find the best ones that suit you. And these assets are also 93% correlated. Scrolling down, you can see more information such as the volume history. You can definitely look at this to make a better decision of whether or not you want to take on exposure to these liquidity pools or not. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you this software. Nothing I say is financial advice. Now, another really cool thing about the Metrics Finance software is that you can see how other people's positions are performing. So scrolling down, you can see the top positions of other people's wallets on this liquidity pool. You can see people's ROI, fees, APR, liquidity, etc. So you can scroll down and find one. So for example, this one that is over $800,000 in liquidity that is 2 weeks of age, we can go here, open it in a new tab, and then at the top, we'll grab these little numbers on Uniswap. Okay, so just follow along. You can grab it, then go over to Etherscan and put it at the end of this link here, and then it will bring up this. Now, I hope this isn't too complicated, but you just copy the owner's address, his wallet address of the liquidity pool. Then you can go back on over to Metrics Finance, go to the track section at the top and paste it in. So now you can see this guy's current liquidity, his current earnings, the fees he's actually making by being in this liquidity pool. And you can see that if he were just holding on to these assets, he would not be making as much money as if he were in this liquidity pool. So you can see his verse hodl, his asset gain, his ROI, his APR, etc. Here we have this wallet with 113,000 bucks in liquidity, and he has made over $20,000 in earnings from the liquidity pools, and he would be making less money if he were just holding on to these assets. You can see that from here. And by being in these liquidity pools, he is outpacing the just versus holding on to dear life. And you can see that he's actually in some more pools than just wrapped Ethereum to Uni. But anyways, you can scroll through and find more liquidity pools. Make sure you check out Metrics Finance. I'll leave it in the description down below. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.